Hi, my name is Mike and I'm Luke's dad. I've known Luke since birth, so it's hard to say what his communication skills were like when I first met him. But as he's matured, Luke has become much more proficient in communication. Having read some of Luke's writings and some things that he's posted elsewhere, I can tell I think Luke is much more proficient in written communication than he is in oral communication. Therefore, in order to improve communication skills, I think Luke has to work on his confidence, enunciation, and speaking efficiencies so that when he wants to make a point, he can make the point much more quicker. Luke is very careful in selecting the words that he uses, and as such, I think that he sometimes hesitates before he says too much. That's a very important trait and a very important characteristic. However, in order to hold a person's attention, you sometimes need to make a point, make it quickly, and move on. So if I had any recommendations for Luke with respect to his communication skills, they would be that Luke needs to improve his oral communication skills to the level that he has achieved with his written communication skills. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Richard Odie, and I'm Luke's friend. When I first met Luke, he was a very quiet kid. It was hard to understand him sometimes, and you always had to have him repeat what he said because sometimes it would be under his mouth and you couldn't really quite hear what he said. His communication skills now are much better. When he talks, it's much louder and it's much clearer, and you don't have to ask him 20 times what he just said because when he first met him, you couldn't understand anything he said. His other aspects are when he writes, they're much better. His sentences aren't run-ons, and you can actually see that his writing has improved greatly. He also was very intense with writing. It would be very long and be very strict about what he would have to write about, and sometimes he would get carried away. When he communicates with others, sometimes it is very hard to understand him, like I've said before, but also it's very hard for him to not to get carried away. Sometimes he likes to write a lot, so it gets very good. But also at the same time, it gets a little too long, and teachers start to wonder why they are so long. I know in school he always used to be very good at his essays in high school. The teachers always liked it, but they would always take a while to grade because he would always write so much. I think if he would shorten it just a little bit, his writing would be much better and his grades could be very great. His writing is very better. I like it so much more. It's very good and it's very clear. So Luke's writing is much better, and I hope he can continue improving on his writing and his oral speaking skills.
Hello, my name is Darren Pope, and I am a friend of Luke's. I've known Luke for about 5 to 7 years, so I've known him for quite a while, and I've seen his communication skills develop and change. So when I first met Luke, he was very shy, very quiet, and you kind of had to get him to understand what you wanted to do, and eventually he would go along with what the plan was. Luke has definitely changed. He's become a better articulator at what he wants to say. You can understand what his intentions are, and definitely has improved on that. He's still a little shy, probably when it comes to public speaking. That is a difficult subject to kind of touch upon, and I know it is for everyone, so I don't blame him if he's not quite confident in becoming a public speaker. Definitely has gotten a lot better with articulating, as I have touched upon. That has become a key aspect of how he communicates with his friends. Definitely, he'll tell you, and he'll kind of describe, various aspects of it, time, location. So he understands communicating through that. What he can do to improve his communications is to probably improve his range of vocabulary. A lot of words that he uses is the same over and over, so if he decides to change or at least widen his vocabulary use, his communication will exceed and definitely get a lot better.